Unlocking the power of evening dua, a true Islamic story. It's evening. The world grows quiet. Your heart feels heavy. Your problems seem endless. But in that silence, there is a key, a secret that could open doors you never thought possible. Hamid, a young boy with nothing but tears, raised his hands to Allah one night, and his life transformed forever. The sun was slipping behind the horizon of Al-Kasbah, painting the sky in strokes of orange, crimson, and deep purple. The call to Maghrib Adhan floated across the village, bouncing off clay rooftops and echoing through narrow streets. Children who had been playing football in the dusty alleys rushed home. Mothers hurried to finish their cooking, and men washed their hands and faces at the communal well before walking towards the mosque. But in the corner of the village, in a small mud house where the oil lamp barely kept the shadows at bay, a boy named Hamid sat with his head buried in his hands. He was 17, his body lean from hunger, his eyes heavy with grief. His father had passed away 6 months ago after a long illness, leaving behind a pile of debts. His mother, frail and weak, tried her best to stitch clothes for the neighbors, but her health was crumbling day by day. And Hamid, who once dreamed of studying and becoming a scholar, was now burdened with a responsibility far beyond his age. That evening, Hamid whispered, "Ya Allah, I don't know what to do anymore. I am broken." His lips trembled as he said it, his chest heavy as though the weight of the whole world pressed upon him. The sound of the adhan pierced through his despair, and something inside him tugged him towards the masjid. He rose, wiped his tears, and stepped outside, his bare feet sinking into the cool sand. As he entered the masjid, the imam's calm recitation filled the air. Hamid joined the prayer, his body present but his heart restless. After the prayer, he lingered. One by one, the men left until the masjid grew silent. The imam, Sheikh Abdullah, noticed Hamid sitting alone. He walked over, placed a hand on his shoulder, and asked gently, "My son, is something troubling you?" Tears rolled down Hamid's face before he could respond. "Sheikh, my mother is sick. We have no food, and the debts are crushing us. I feel like there's no way out." The imam's eyes softened with compassion. "Hamid, do you know the secret of the evening dua?" Hamid shook his head. The imam said, "The messenger of Allah taught us that whoever sincerely raises his hands to Allah in the quiet of the evening, asking with a heart broken yet hopeful, Allah never turns him away. It may not always come in the way we expect, but Allah answers. The Prophet said, 'Call upon me, I will respond to you.' Qur'an 40:60. The key is sincerity. Tonight, after Isha, remain behind. Pour your heart to Allah as though you see Him, as though your whole life depends on it, because it does." Hamid nodded, his heart trembling with both fear and hope. That night, after everyone left, Hamid stayed behind. The masjid was dimly lit, shadows dancing along the walls. He knelt on the mat, lifted his trembling hands, and whispered, "Ya Allah, you are my only hope. I have no father, no wealth, no power. My mother is sick, and I am weak. I beg you, help me. Provide for us. Hear her. I have no one but you." His voice cracked. Tears streamed down his face and fell onto the prayer mat. He kept repeating, "Ya Allah, you are our Rahman, our Rahim. I beg you, please answer me." The wind outside howled through the windows, almost as if the heavens themselves were listening. Hamid prayed until his body grew tired, until his tears dried, until he felt a strange calm wash over him. He returned home with a lightness in his chest, though nothing had outwardly changed. The next morning, as the village stirred awake, Hamid went to fetch water from the well. There, he saw a man unfamiliar to him, a traveler whose clothes were dusty from a long journey. The man smiled warmly and asked, "Young man, do you know where I can find lodging for a few nights?" Hamid hesitated, then said, "We have a small house. It's not much, but you can stay with us." The traveler agreed. That night, as Hamid's mother served him their humble meal, the man watched her cough weakly. He turned to Hamid and asked, "Your mother is unwell, isn't she?" Hamid lowered his head. Yes, but we cannot afford medicine. The traveler's eyes softened. Allah is most merciful. Tomorrow, I will take her to the city and arrange treatment. Hamid's eyes widened in shock. But why would you help us? The man smiled. Because last night, I too prayed for guidance. I asked Allah to show me where I could spend my wealth in His cause. This morning, my journey led me here. Hamid's heart skipped a beat. Could this be the answer to his dua? True to his word, the traveler took Hamid's mother to the city. He paid for her medicine, arranged for a doctor to visit weekly, and gave Hamid enough money to clear his father's debts. The burden that had crushed Hamid's young shoulders suddenly lifted. He felt free for the first time in months. But the story did not end there. One evening, after his mother had begun recovering, Hamid returned to the masjid to thank Allah. That night, while making dua, he felt an overwhelming urge to pray not just for himself, but for others, the orphans, the widows, the sick, the debtors. Tears filled his eyes as he raised his hands and whispered, Ya Allah, just as you sent help for me, send help for all those who are suffering. Heal them, guide them, bless them. That night, Hamid experienced something he could never describe fully. A tranquility descended on him, a sweetness in his heart, as though he was embraced by the mercy of Allah. Days turned into weeks, and Hamid developed a habit. Every evening, he would sit after prayer and pour his heart to Allah. He stopped seeing dua as a ritual and began to see it as a lifeline, a conversation with the one who knows every secret of the heart. Word spread in the village of how Hamid's life turned around. People began asking him, what changed for you? And he would answer simply, evening dua, sincere dua. Allah never leaves a broken heart unanswered. Years later, Hamid grew into a respected scholar. He taught children the Qur'an, cared for the poor, and built wells and schools with whatever wealth came his way. But every night, he would still sit alone in the quiet of the masjid, raising his hands as he did that first night, whispering, Ya Allah, I have no one but you. And each time, he remembered the night his world changed, the night he unlocked the power of sincere evening dua. Do you know what changed him? The power of sincere evening dua. When the sun sets, when you feel weakest, that's when Allah is closest. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, Your Lord is shy to leave his servant empty-handed when he raises his hands. So tonight, after prayer, don't scroll your phone. Don't drown in your worries. Just raise your hands, cry if you must, and call upon the one who never ignores a broken heart. For more inspiring stories like this, subscribe to Deen in Minute. Your next dua could change your world.